Hello students, welcome to Nilachal Polytechnic. This is my second video class on design of spring. In previous video class we are going to the classification of the spring, application, function and the definition part of the spring. We will continue with the same classification of the spring. Now let's come to volute casing. As shown in the diagram, we are going to see that the spring consists of number of turns are there. This number of turns are producing a parabolic curve, and this parabolic shape of the spring structure is known as your volute casing. The spring are wound in parabolic shape and constant pitch and lead angle. The decreasing number of coil results in increasing the speed. So while we are going to apply the load upon the spring, we are going to see that the spring rate will be increases and the number of coil will be decreased. Next comes to another type of spring, that is your torsional spring. The torsional spring is nothing but this is the spiral type of spring. This is the spiral type of spring which is made of flat strip wound in the form of spiral and loaded in the torsion. We have seen that some of we are going to transmit the power from one point to another point. During that time we are going to wound the spring upon that shaft to decrease the vibration produced during the torsion of the shaft. The spiral springs are used in the watches and also in the clocks. Generally, this is the helical torsional spring. The helical torsional spring are made up of wear like to that of the compression spring. And here, while we are winding the spring upon the shaft, there are torsional shear stresses are produced and the load is applied tangentially. See, this is the axis of the shaft or axis of the spring. The both surface of the internal surface of the spring and the external surface of the shaft both are having parallel surface in contact, hence there is a shear stress produced in it. Basically, these springs are subject to torsional torque. Central axis of the spring, it induces bending stress in the wear. These springs are used in door hinges and automobile stators. Another spring classification is that leaf spring. We have seen that in our trucks, tractors, we are going to observe that these springs are used. As shown in the figure, we are going to see that there are two ends of the leaf spring. It consists of number of elliptical form of fins, and all these fins are grouped with the nut and bolt attachment. The leaf spring is a semi-elliptical form and consisting of leaves. These are the leaves, and they are held together by means of these are the clamps and U-bolts. These springs may carry lateral load, brake torque, driving torque in addition to the shock. In our trucks, tractors, we are going to see these leaf springs are widely used at the front axis. After completion of the types of or classification of the spring, now we'll go for that what are the terms are related to the helical spring. The terms are, first of all, solid length or solid height. Second one is your free length. Third one is your spring index. Fourth one is the spring rate, stiffness or spring constant. And lastly is your pitch. To understand these terms, let us consider a spring. Let us consider a helical spring. Let's see in the A figure, the spring consists of number of turns are there. Now, in second B figure, load is applied W, which is compressive one. Now, which causes the turn of each helical spring coils to close with each other. Now, while the load is applied upon it, there is a deflection takes place. In earlier stage, the length is more, but in second figure, we see that the length is decreased, and that is known as a del. This del is known as a deformation of the spring due to application of compressive load. Let's see on the C figure, we are going to see that the both ends where the bottom part is fixed, the spring having bottom end is fixed. Now, while load is applied W, we have to see that what is the maximum deflection. Maximum deflection means what? All the turn of spring will be closed as much as possible, and there is no clearance between them, and this is known as your compressed position. This is your compressed position or solid position. From this diagram, we are clear that in figure A, we are going to see that is a free length of the spring. Free length of the spring means it is the normal position of the spring. While you are bringing a spring, we have to see that each turn of spring are quite having some clearance between them, and that is known as a free length. And while we are going to apply the load, now during that time the spring is compressed. Now see what is solid length. Solid length means what? In case of solid length, we are going to see that load is applied upon the spring and each turns are close with each other. We have seen that there is a length of the spring obtained. This is the length of spring, and this length of spring is known as your solid length. If n is the number of turn, then solid length is equal to n into d, where d is the diameter of the wire in which the spring is made. Let us consider that free length, how to calculate free length. The free length will be as considered as the denotation LF, and it is equal to solid length plus del max and is equal to 0.1215 del max. So, we have solid length, maximum deflection and clearance between adjacent coil. Clearance means what? This is one turn, this is another turn, and this gap is known as your clearance. So, free length can be calculated as LF, and that is equal to solid length plus maximum deflection plus clearance between the adjacent coil. As shown in the figure A, we are having free length and is equal to solid length n into d, here del max. After that, there is a clearance, there is a little bit clearance between the turn, and that is 0.15 del max. So, while we are going to solve the problem, we have to design the spring and we have to calculate solid length n into d, free length n into d plus del max, plus 0.15 del max. Let's comes to another term, that is spring index. We have seen that there is a diameter of wire, that is small d. There is a bigger diameter, that is your diameter of the coil. So we have seen that this is the diameter. This is the diameter of the coil. For each turn there is a diameter, and this is d is your diameter of the coil, and small d is your diameter of wire. Now spring index means, that is denoted by symbol C, and C is equal to capital D by small d. Capital D is your mean diameter of the spring. Mean diameter means what? There is a outer diameter of spring. This is your outer surface diameter, and there is a internal surface of the diameter of the spring. So mean diameter means, that is d plus d by 2, and the inner diameter and outer diameter both are mixed, then we have to calculate my minimum or mean diameter there. Generally spring index always taken as 5 to 10. Now C is equal to capital D by small d, or in other meaning, the mean diameter of spring is equal to 10 times or 5 times to the smaller diameter or diameter of the wire. Now comes to the word pitch. Pitch means what? This is the axis of the spring. This is the axis of the spring. We are going to see that in the vertical direction there is a gap between the each turn. We have to calculate that what is the distance between two adjacent coil. This is the one turn, this is the another turn, these are the two adjacent turn, and the distance between adjacent turn is known as your pitch. This is known as your pitch. So pitch is always calculated by utilizing the free length, and what is the value of P? We can calculate as P is equal to free length divided by n dash minus 1. As figure A, we have seen that the axial distance between adjacent coil in uncompressed stage means free length is LF. Already you have calculated n minus d, n into d plus del max plus 0.15 del max divided by n dash minus 1. N dash means what? Total number of coil. As shown in the figure, this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7 and 8. There are 8 numbers of 10 turn, and that is n minus 1 will be obtained. So P is equal to free length divided by n dash minus 1. Now spring rate will be calculated. Now how to calculate spring rate? So spring rate calculation करने के लिए हम लोग को क्या करना? So we have to find out that there is a load W. The load W is applied upon it. Now we have seen that on the free length, original length is your, this is your free length. Now while you are applying the W, the deformation takes place, and this is your deformation del, and del deformation occurs due to the application of load. The spring rate can be calculated as the ratio of load applied to the unit deflection of the spring, that is W by del. In this way we are going to conclude that what are the different terms related to helical spring. Then first of all, solid length n into d, wherein the number of turn of the coil. Free length LF, that is n into d into del max plus 0.15 del max, and spring index C is equal to mean diameter by small d, that is capital D by small d. D is your diameter of the wire. Again spring rate means what is the load applied upon the spring and what is the deformation takes place, that is W by del. Now pitch means what? Pitch is equal to during the uncompressed stretch, means during the free length condition we are going to find out that what is the pitch, and that is free length divided by n dash minus 1. Thank you student. In next class we will go for study about that what is the material of the spring and what are the different end condition of the spring. Thank you.